Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all of these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? I do think that worked, Stephanie and Jan. And thank you guys for being here. It is an honor. It is a privilege. We are in our hearts. We are in love. We are in breakthrough. We're in acceleration. We're in fun and magic because it is the real raw. It is Thankful Thursday. We're thankful for you guys being here. Not just words. We're actually thankful. Gina, who do we have here today?
That is true. We have Mr. Daniel Perez joining us from Boston, Massachusetts, president of DPV Transportation Worldwide, a luxury ground transportation real estate investor. Oh, by the way, a Tony Robbins Platinum partner. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Daniel Perez to the Real Raw.
Daniel, thank you for being here. How are you?
Excellent, Sean. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where in the world are you right now?
Currently in Connecticut.
Beautiful. Coming from the Husky country. And what's your fun fact, Daniel?
I love to jump off airplanes.
Whoa.
That's fun.
How long? When did you first start jumping off airplanes?
About 3 years ago. I'm trying to do it on my own. I still have an instructor, but I'm trying to do it on my own this year.
Can I just give you one tip?
Sure. This is what we're here for.
Absolutely. Listen, if you're going to do it on your own, I think it's pretty dangerous. I would add at least a parachute.
Of course. Yeah, totally.
That's a good idea.
Really good point,
So
Sean.
listen, you can say that I saved your life now. Yes, I saved you.
And people pay $10,000 a month for this coaching, and you just got that coaching for free, Daniel. How lucky are you?
Wow.
That's the height of my coaching.
I love it. I love it.
That is the height of my coaching. So Daniel, brother, what's your mission in the world?
It keeps changing, honestly. Right now, as it is, I love to support third world countries, especially families that have no support from governments, that are sleeping under very rough conditions. So just bring light and joy into those families by creating homes in third world countries.
Amazing. Well, appreciate you very, very much for being here. It's a beautiful mission. I felt your heart. Ready to have some fun though today as well, my friend?
Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Gina, we got Daniel, his heart, third world countries. He is going to have parachutes thanks to me. Now, who else is here?
We have a CEO and founder of PEO Awareness, Payroll, HR Services. She's 6X, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6X her business in 2021 and is looking to scale from 5 states to 53 employees. Ooh. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Nicole Williams from Miami, Florida to the Real Raw.
Hello.
Nicole, very impressive, my friend. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Before we turn to that amazingness, do you have a fun fact, Nicole, that something we might not expect, like, Daniel jumps out of airplanes without parachutes? I know he didn't say that, but it's fun to say that he did. Yes. So Nicole, what is your fun fact?
So my fun fact would be that I actually won the Miss Crossland pageant, which was a pageant in my high school. So that is what I will leave you with today.
Nice. Whoa. That is awesome. And it was the Miss, what was it?
Miss Crossland.
That's what I thought you said, Miss Crossland. Was that the name of your high school or no?
Yes, Crossland High School in Temple.
That's fun.
Very, very nice. Awesome. And what's your mission in the world, Nicole?
My mission in the world would be to impact lives and save souls through song. That would be my mission.
Ooh, like that. And how are you growing so fast? What are you doing right? And I could actually probably tell you what you're doing right, because it's stuff we talk about, but let's put into your language, your frame. You're obviously people, you're adding massive data.
I think I grow best through word of mouth, through networking, my networking efforts. I'm a part of a, BNI integrity group that, basically allows for me to have 30 different like-minded business owners and professionals, introducing me into their circle or their ecosystem to impact their, trusted, circle.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you enormously. You're doing a fantastic job, obviously, and welcome to the Real Raw.
Thank you.
Amazing. We got Nicole, we got Daniel and Gina. I hallucinate. We might have some judges today.
We do. First,
from this guy, Gina.
Yes. Am I not the captain?
He's very
obvious.
Wait, he's not always right, though. He's not right.
I'm not even close to always right. In fact, the only person who's always right that I know is sitting next to me. And that's my boss.
That's a very good answer.
Yes.
So Fred Diamond is with us today from Vienna, Virginia, president and founder of the Institute for Excellence in Sales, guys. He's an award-winning podcast host as well, Sales Game Changers, where Stephanie spoke apparently like a couple of months ago. And he covers all kinds of dynamics around sales and business development. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Fred Diamond to the Real Raw.
Thank you so much.
Fred, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Let's go mission. Why sales? What's the mission? What's happening?
Yeah, so I run the Institute for Excellence in Sales, but I actually have a personal mission that I'll share with you. Yeah. My spouse has what's known as chronic Lyme disease. So I'm actually looking to educate the world on the horror of chronic Lyme disease. And I actually have a book coming out on February 1st to help educate the world on this insidious disease. So that's more of the business mission is strong, to help sales leaders acquire, retain, motivate, and elevate top-tier talent. But the personal one is one that I'm spending a lot of time with right now.
Awesome.
Where are you located, Fred?
I'm in Northern Virginia, about 15 miles out of DC.
I had to connect you with some friends of mine, the Croziers. They're doctors, and he's been able to help a lot of people with Lyme disease, do some incredible things. So definitely will.
Yeah. Have you guys gotten that figured out yet, Fred, or not yet? Is your wonderful wife, how is she doing health-wise? Is she?
No, she's not doing well. It's without going into all the details, it's an incurable disease when it gets to a certain stage. So all you can do is control it, hopefully. And it's affected millions of people around the globe. And it's just something that I've become passionate about. I've written blog articles about it. I've done podcasts on it, and just trying to educate the world on what this disease is and hopefully find some solace for the people who have it. But Stephanie, I'd love to be connected to the doctor you referred to.
And I would say, Fred, also, and I am the last person in the world. I'm blind.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you guys know that. I don't know if you know that. So I'm everybody's got, I have an eye doctor you have to go see. And it's like, right? I have retinitis pigmentosa. It's an incurable eye disease. And, you know, everybody's got a thought on how they could help, right? So I agree with Stephanie that that's a wonderful possibility. There's also a possibility. I just had, you know, I wasn't gonna go down this road, but for a minute, because you're telling me that your wife is suffering, and our mission in the world is to lessen suffering. And it's to lessen suffering typically economically for people in business, but it's also to lessen suffering of every kind in the world. So I had an aortic dissection 7 weeks ago.
Wow.
And I was saying goodbye to my kids potentially on the phone, not giving up, but I was having a conversation as I was about to be rushed into emergency surgery, where my 3 older children, 22, 20, and 18, are in college, and we're very close, you know, and it was like I was on my way to go surfing for the 82nd day of the year. And the next thing I know, you know, this is now 5 hours later, and I'm lying in a hospital bed, about to be rushed into surgery, and saying potentially goodbye to my kids, like getting affairs in order, and like, what do we do with the law firm, and how do we do things? And I have a lot of things set up. You know, I have a 120 person law firm, and you know, I have a complex life. I've been blessed and grown a lot of things through the formula we teach. And some of the loosest ends are not fully tied up. You know, the transition plan for the law firm is not as tight as it should be. And the idea was my son's going to go to law school. He's super excited about it. It's 120 people. It's like 8 different departments, a lot happening there. And some of those pieces aren't tight, right? So it was like in that conversation and the conversation, I love you, everybody's crying. And then miraculously, I thank God, I did not, the dissection, which is a tear inside a vessel inside your aorta. So I was bleeding internally in my aorta. That is not a thing you want to do. Google aortic dissection and start reading, and you will definitely not wish that you had that, right? And so, because we started Googling in the hospital, and I was getting like blown away. My kids were Googling, it was insane, right? Like life-threatening situation, straight up, immediate, not long-term, right then and there. So I get out of the hospital, I go to my vascular doctor a few days later, now we're like 6 weeks ago. And he's like, okay, don't lift anything, don't carry anything. Your blood pressure, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have any other problems. Like, you have to just basically do nothing. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, when can I go back to lifting, running, surfing? He's like, hopefully someday. And I was devastated. And Stephanie had COVID, so she wasn't there that day. And I went and called you, and I was in complete how was I?
Absolutely disbelief. Like two things were happening. One was the absolute fear of, like, you know, your life ending and this being it. And then also that, you know, not accepting diagnosis and your commitment to getting a different answer.
Yeah. And so I called up James Bowman again. He's Tony Robbins' body worker. He was at our house just a couple hours ago. He works on Tony's body at every event. He now works on me on every event we have. I'm incredibly grateful. James is as masterful as anybody in the world. And I'm like, brother, what do you think? He's like, get on a plane and go see Dr. Jerry Tennant, that speaks on Tony's stage. His exact words to me is, if Dr. Tennant could bring Tony back from the dead, because Tony 2 years ago had a mercury poisoning, an ulcer, lost a third of the blood in his body. Wow. He said, he can help you. I said, all right. So I went out, and Dr. Tennant is brilliant, written books, amazing. But I've been around a lot of holistic people. Yeah. I have deep belief, I have deep faith, but I also see a lot of things that really don't work, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm very practical and very grounded. So Dr. Tennant had me all the way through everything. He goes, and I'm like, when is this going to be resolved? And he does some of his Dr. Tennant stuff. And he says, you're going to be fully healed in 10 days. Wow. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, my vascular doctor told me, you're going to go back in 6 weeks for a CAT scan. It's going to be the same. It's going to get worse. Maybe it'll get like a little better, but you and I are going to be friends for life. His words, we're friends for life now. And I was like, I don't want to be his friend for life. And so Dr. Tennant said, you're gonna be fully healed. Now, I believed in Dr. Tennant, you know, and I have immense trust in James and Tony. And I was like, but like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't say that even to you. I was praying to God, I was having faith, but I'm like, come on, this is crazy. How the hell am I gonna be healed in 10 days? I mean, an 8-inch dissection is 8 inches of the vessel separated from the muscle in my body. This doesn't heal like a muscle does, right? This is a whole different game of how healing works. You could Google it, every word I'm saying, Google and fact check it. So, and then also gone and seen a doctor at Cornell Weill, and he's like, yeah, I think everything's gonna be fine, but you know, the healing's gonna take time. So I go, and 6 weeks later, do all the stuff with Dr. Tennant. We went out to his place in Dallas twice. I did every protocol he said every single day, and they helped people. There were famous people who you'd know who these people are that we were there with, who had incurable brain tumors and other things. Siri Lindley credits Dr. Tennant with meaningfully helping her come back from a 5% chance of living with cancer. I mean, like crazy situation. I went. This is not faith healing, by the way. Only, by the way, I have great faith. I thank God for it. But I also did all the stuff we did with electrical charging, understanding body frequencies, and a whole bunch of different stuff. And I went back, had my CAT scan, and what did the doctor say?
100% healed.
Yeah, good for you.
He was in absolute shock. So I'm the guy that doesn't need to have another person tell me about how to cure my blindness. P.S. Since I started seeing Dr.
I was
Tennant.
going to say, but and an incurable eye disease. Since he started with all the stuff with Dr. Tennant, he has started to get, so he's had like a little, because the disease, your eyesight goes over time. So he's had, the last like year and a half I've known him, has had peripheral, but no central vision at all. Like can't see anything on the front. But now if the contrast is enough, so like if he's holding up his finger against something black, if the contrast is enough, he can actually see a little bit of contrast. Like
I can see my finger moving a little bit here right now against that wall, and definitely against the screen. I could not do that 7 weeks ago.
Wow, that's great.
And so I just share with you, we'll give you information for Dr. Tennant as well. Thank you for the space and the time. Yeah. And I understand like how many people have told you they have a solution, because I've had hundreds of people tell me how to cure my blindness, and obviously nothing works, or nothing has worked so far.
But you also got to do the things.
Yeah.
Because you have been so committed to doing all the things that Dr. Tennant has like wildly, like doing all the charging and all the taking the supplements and everything. Like you have been so committed to that protocol.
And we'll drop, and by the way, I make nothing
and
for
Gina
this.
dropped in the information.
Yeah, drop in for Dr.
I put it in there because it also, I've had inflammation and pain for many years that are mimic Lyme's, Fred. And this has been the only thing I've done. Everything holistic medical. I just want to share that too, and to add. So I put.
By the way, Fred. By the way, 100%. Please, thank you for the space, because I can get how people thinking they can help with something that everybody thought they could help with. How frustrating and exhausting that could be. But I also think I wouldn't have been serving you and your family if I didn't say those things. So thank you for the space, and please forgive me if any of that sounds like stuff you've heard before. But thank you for giving us that space.
No, I mean, it's Stephanie asked before, why'd you come on this call? And I had no idea, but maybe that was why. So thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Fred. So, and thank you everybody for that space and time. But you got a problem, any kind that hasn't been cured, hasn't been helped, just really check out Dr. Tennant's work. P.S. I owned his stuff for 10 months and didn't even open the box. Yeah. So, and I, and that could have, I could end up dead and never know. So truth. Gina.
And the Tennants and the Croziers are now working, together too. And the Croziers actually specialize in Lyme disease.
Amazing. So Gina.
So next we have from Silver Spring, Maryland too, right? Not far from you, Fred. Mr. Mark Morant is with us, an experienced mortgage broker at One Rate. He was at UPW. He's passionate about financial services, and he's looking to open his own business in the future. And he is authoring his first book. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Mark Morant to the Real World.
Mark, welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And what is your fun fact, please, Mark?
Fun fact. Well, in my spare time, whatever spare time I have, I'm a basketball official.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
What's your historical relationship with basketball? Like, what was basketball and you growing up?
I used to play it, and I thought I was better than I was, apparently, and but I just missed that aspect of it. And so me refereeing is the closest I'm ever going to come to playing a sport competitively again. So
awesome. Well, appreciate that. And where'd you grow up, Mark?
Not too far from here, Silver Spring, Maryland, Tacoma Park area,
cool.
Just outside of Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Nice. And what's your mission in the world?
Well, I saw you asking everybody that. Now, that's a good question. I deeply want to help people, but I really have not found the way I can impact people other than me connecting with them. I love people. I'm infinitely interested in them, and I have a soft heart, but I haven't found a way yet where I can have a large impact on people.
Well, I think that you're already doing it by refereeing basketball and whatever else you do, and by giving people your love and listening. I am incredibly confident. I feel impacted by you. You have such a softness of heart, such a presence of energy, and enormously grateful. And I think a lot of times we can all minimize the impacts we're already having, and we could all think, well, maybe not me. And I'm on fire with this because I'm here at Date with Destiny. Tony Robbins was a janitor, beaten by his family as a kid. Forget all that. He was a really super rich dude when he turned 60 a year plus ago, almost died. Pandemic hits, destroys the event business. And I'm privileged to say, I've had a small part in that, a role in it, but have broken all the records for platinum partnership sales at UPW, which was live during this pandemic. But even more incredibly, at Date with Destiny, this is a predominantly virtual event. And it's unbelievable what's possible once we step into ourselves and own who we are. And I think Tony stands as an unbelievable example of that in the world. Beaten as a kid, did not graduate, didn't go to college, at all, and was a janitor when he was in high school. But also to then recreate and have the flexibility, the innovation to have everything you want in the world, and then still go back to work and build this studio and do all the things he's done. So, brother, you have all the magic in the world inside. And may I ask a favor, by the way, of you?
Of me? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. And Fred, can I ask a favor of you too?
He's shaking his head yes.
Yeah.
And giving a thumbs up.
Okay.
He can't see, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
so
sorry.
Mark,
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So Mark and Fred, right? Thank you. My son and my daughter go to the University of Maryland, and tomorrow's Friday. So
that's my alma mater. Yeah.
Amazing. So can you go supervise their behavior tomorrow night and make sure my kids are behaving? That would be really helpful since you're in the general vicinity.
Although you're not the most well-behaved kids on the planet. Like, they don't really drink, they don't really go out. Like, I think your daughter was like at home by 10 o'clock on Halloween.
That is true.
So I'm not sure, what kind of trouble they actually get into.
Well, I want to, we'll double check. So Mark and Fred, if you guys could double check on that with the Terps, that would be amazing.
No problem. Do you want me to wear my referee official?
I do. Yes, that would be good. Yeah. And I want to make sure that, do you know how there's like a 3-second rule in basketball?
Yeah.
So I want a 3-second rule that anybody that steps within 5 feet of my daughter, that you're going to remove them from the space. How's that sound?
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Absolutely.
You have 3 seconds.
Okay.
Sounds good. Awesome. Gina.
All right. I love this. This is fun. Our last but not least judge today, Sean and Stephanie, Uriel Cetera is with us. He's founder of Dusk Group in New York, realtor in commercial real estate, and he went to UPW, attended our after party, and is here with us right now. Please, guys, join me in welcoming Uriel to the Real Raw.
Thank you, everyone. Nice meeting you, Sean.
Nice meeting you, Uriel. Thank you for being there. And what is a fun fact of yours, my friend? Because I have a fun fact about you to share with the group in a second, but you want to share, please, your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I've been doing Krav Maga for 10 years. Krav Maga is the Israeli, basically self-defense that was created by the Israeli army. And I love it and I enjoyed it. And I continue teaching it to teenagers right now.
That's beautiful, brother.
Can you teach it to also, some women here? Because there's a lot of times I'm looking for like some self-defense moves against this guy. Like,
sure.
at me.
When we have a meetup, I'll be more than happy to.
All right, perfect. I need some moves.
Yes.
He's always trying to take me down and like wrestle me and throw me in the pools and stuff. I need some moves. I need some moves.
Just go with it. If he's trying to throw you in the pool, just go with it.
Thank you. See? So who wants to see Stephanie throw in the pool in the sense today? And her hair.
Oh, please.
Please do. Let's do it. Let's see it.
I just asked for them to vote. I don't know. So we'll see.
You would not be a very happy man for a very long time. You might have starved to death. Your health would be impeded. No, like you'd be in very bad shape.
Yes, but we'll see.
If my hair and makeup wasn't done, though, it'd be okay.
That's true. I am present too. So, all right. So, Uriel, is that correct pronunciation? Uriel?
It's Uriel. It means angel of light.
Uriel.
Angel of light. Uriel. Angel of light. So, Uriel, do you want to know a fun fact about you?
Let's hear it.
Yes, you played a role in Stephanie and Vihan being kicked off of forever Airbnb. Are you proud of that?
Why?
Because you attended the Unblinded UPW after party that has led to Stephanie being banned, and we have not yet figured out how to get her unbanned. I
wasn't one of the ones making all that noise. I actually left early. I had a flight the next day at 4 a.m. so I left early.
Yes, but just your physical presence there was part of, I think, a numerical dynamic that occurred. Somehow, Oriel, they were a little
It couldn't have been the DJ and the 6 speakers that we had, at midnight while all the in Florida.
It was all me. I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame.
But I think it probably was enhanced by like, oh, there's like 250 to 300 people there. I think they didn't like that either.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But so congratulations on
you.
actually being a co-conspirator in
Thank
Stephanie being banned from Airbnb. And while we're on the subject, this woman started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. Ocho. 8. I don't know the number 8 in French, although I would say it. My French ends at cinq, which I think is 5. She was then a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Then she went from there to becoming not number 99, 89, 78, 66, 42, 31, 22, not number 10, 8, 6, or 4, not number 9, 7, 6, 5, or 3, but the number 1 business broker in the state of Nevada at the ripe, young, old age of 24. Youngest ever, first woman ever to do it. Now the coast, the Real Raw, speaking on stages everywhere and making my life exponentially better and at times a little bit more interesting for sure. The one, the only Stephanie Ann Vihan. Let's hear it for Stephanie. How are you? Welcome to your show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
It's such an honor to be here today.
And what is your fun fact?
I think my fun fact today is that I feel very calm, excited for this show because about 10 minutes before this, I was in quite the panic thinking Sean's going to make me get into a car and head over to Date with Destiny right when we're trying to do the Real Raw and it's going to be stressful. And then I'm going to have to get on my computer and want to be on time. And I was feeling all that angst and I was like, can we just do the Real Raw from here? And the moment I got that yes, it's like, I can be here and be with the people. So that is my fun fact that I get to be here with you, excited and fun and not stressed out of my mind.
Yes. And I think it's worthy of jumping in the pool. Yes. And going for a swim.
Yes.
Celebrate.
Jump in from the neck down.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, let's go. All right. So thank you for that. By the way, Gina Ricci. And what's your fun fact? Oh, that was your fun fact.
That was my fun fact.
Yes. I'm sorry.
But that I'm here having fun.
Yes. So we live in a pretty interesting world when we have just been honored and privileged to be part of breaking records at Date with Destiny. And that's not even on our fun fact list. Is that crazy? I'm not saying that bad, but it's a blessed life that we had conscious leaders from around at least the country. And maybe today I was thinking the world, maybe we had Exxon executive, Disney executive. We had Joan Greco, who's changing dentistry and health in the world. Peter Swain, 3-time winner of Business Mastery. Marja writing book after book after book with people and all sorts of other human beings just hanging out for breakfast. And what kind of a blessing is it in the world to be with folks like that, folks like these, who are heart-centered, looking for more, looking for change and acceleration. So it's an honor and privilege to be here. And my fun fact is massive gratitude for your presence and the amazingness of people in the world, their hearts and their dreams. And our mission is to help make those things go faster and better. So thank you guys for being here. Gina, you're part of Creating. You're a heart-centered leader. We love you. And Gina's swearing off of pleasing people. And she is swearing on continuing to love everyone, which she does anyway. And she's absolutely extraordinary. Immense gratitude for you, Gina. Have a beautiful day in the multiverse.
Thank you, Sean Callaghan. Everyone, have an amazing time. See you soon. Ciao for now.
All right. So who's going first?
Ooh, let's rock and roll with Daniel first.
Ooh, Daniel. So what are we doing here? Real quick, influence is in fact a superpower. I happen to think it is the only attainable superpower. And if I'm wrong about that, right? Because it's not linear, it's not exponential at times, it's infinite. So you could have somebody, and I'm sure Fred agrees with this, that you could hire 5 salespeople, 5 business development people, 5 leaders, 5 managers, and those 5 people, a bunch of them can produce absolutely 0 result, and not only produce 0 result, actually create harm. They can create cultural harm. They can create harm in cultural harm because they create a framework of belief of what's not possible. And when our skill sets and influence and our mastery of it, which is again an exponential power and difference, when that's limited and we're not present to it, then the money, time, and magic we create becomes something completely different. And then we actually believe we're not capable of doing something more. And of course we are, right? Because I would have no idea how to have cured my aortic dissection, but somebody's mastery helped me on the power of God. I would definitely have no idea how to take care of a pool. I never have in my entire life, but I have one. But you like put chlorine and do stuff and whatever. Actually, I don't have a pool.
I was like, you do have a pool?
Well, I did have many pools, but I don't have one currently.
Okay.
I have the ocean in the backyard, so that's like a pool. Like that's a big pool. I don't have to take care of that though.
No.
But I had no idea how to keep a pool clean. But it doesn't make me less. Influence is an attainable skill set with exponential differences. Billionaires have very different levels of influence. People with billion-person impact have very different levels of influence, how they apply it, how they get themselves the most to use it, than other people. Doesn't make them better people, doesn't make them less people. It makes them people with a skill set. That's what we play with here on the Real Raw, the only attainable superpower. So how do we do that? Stephanie will be anybody you want her to be, Daniel. She will be herself. She could be an ideal client, whatever you say. 3 minutes going from hello to yes. We don't pitch here. We don't hook here. We don't close here. I wouldn't want to be pitched, hooked, or closed. And I don't think anybody would want a loved one of theirs to be pitched, hooked, or closed. We're here is opening listening, creating heart-centered connection, accelerating integrous influence. What does integrity even mean? It means value-added win-win. When we step into the frame of pitch, it makes me crazy when I watch people on Shark Tank and they sit in the space of pitch. Okay, what's your pitch? And it's like they're begging in the situation. And there's massive value they can bring forward. And it's like, we're the gods, pitch to us. I'm not knocking the show. It's a really cool show and it's helped a lot of people. But the frame that people allow themselves to step into is crazy. And then once in a while, somebody will jump on the show and they'll be like, well, they'll try to be Zeusy assertive. They won't create rapport and they'll create a disruption. This is an amazing art, just like playing basketball, just like being a nuclear physicist, to how this actually happens, and is the most underdeveloped skill set on the planet that's actually controlling everything. Nations, businesses, people, relationships, all of it. So, Daniel, who would you like Stephanie to be going from hello to yes in this 3-minute conversation? And it could just be the next yes, not the ultimate yes. That next yes might look like a longer meeting. It's not about like forcing a yes. It's about connecting and moving, progressing forward. So Daniel, what do you got?
So Sean, I apologize. So remind me again. So you could be whatever you choose, Stephanie. I'm okay with it. Again, this is my first time.
So Daniel, let me help you. No, don't worry. Just deep breath. All good, right? You are seeking yeses in the world.
Okay.
Every human being is. Do you get that? Like,
Yep.
Your work, you're seeking yeses. You're seeking yeses from team members. You're seeking yeses from potential clients or clients. You're seeking yeses in all sorts of, you're seeking yeses to like, what are you gonna have for dinner? To deliver your food on time. That's a much easier yes than a sale or management. What's a yes that you're seeking? Stephanie will be that person. So she could be a person that works for you, is a partner of yours, right? Or she could be a potential client or anything that would be a yes that matters to you in the world. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so who would you like Stephanie to be? You don't have to say the yes you're seeking. Just say, hey, you're an employee. Hey, you are a business owner, with a business that's doing $5 million a year. You're a lawyer, an accountant. Hey, you're Tony Robbins. I want to get a yes, whatever. So who would you like Stephanie to be?
I'm currently buying businesses. So I would love, you could be a business owner that is looking to sell your business.
Great.
Perfect. Stephanie, take us in.
Hello, this is Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. How you doing?
Wonderful, Daniel. How about yourself?
Great, Stephanie. Thank you for taking the time for connecting with me.
Yeah, I have just a couple minutes before I have another call, but what can I do for you?
Sure. Stephanie, I noticed that you currently own a business brokerage firm. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right. And I also understand that you've been doing this for a long time. You started when you were really young, and I know that at this point you want to move into other businesses. Is that correct? Is that what I hear originally?
You've heard that correctly, Daniel.
Perfect. So are you tired of just running the business and just managing employees? And are you really enjoying it, or just even managing employees? Are you at this point ready to move into another career?
So no and yes. So it's not about managing the employees. I don't really have a problem with that. Building, I don't have it. That's not the reason. It is more about, I feel like I have a bigger mission in the world and want to impact lives in a greater way. And, business brokerage, buying and selling businesses isn't fulfilling my heart in the same way that it, was before. I've been through some personal development stuff. So I'm at the point now where I feel like I would just want to do something more impactful in the world.
Got it. Thank you, Stephanie. So would it be worth for you to have a conversation about exiting your business where I could help you through the transition and potentially help you get to where you want to go?
Yeah, can you tell me like how you do that? Like I have about a minute left, so I'd like to know a little bit about like you and what it is that you do.
Sure, Stephanie, that is a great question. So we're pretty much a family-owned small office company. We recently just started. We buy companies, especially companies that are turnkey, that have been operating for a number of years, where we make it easier for you. We're not gonna waste your time. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a CEO. I manage over 200 employees, and the last thing that I want is waste anybody's time. And I know how valuable your time is.
Thank you.
So with that being said, can we schedule a meeting, Stephanie, next week for coffee or a couple of minutes over Zoom and
Absolutely, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent work, my friend. We'll get the judges in a minute. Who's up?
Next up is Miss Nicole.
Miss Nicole, who would you like Stephanie to be?
I would like Stephanie to be an angel investor.
Ooh, she is definitely an angel. She's wonderful. Sometimes. Let's go.
I knew there was going to be a qualifier. I knew it wasn't going to be just lucky nice. There was going to be a qualifier that came at the end of that. But Nicole, hello, this is Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. This is Nicole Williams with PEO Awareness. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I was actually trying to get in touch with you because I'm a small business owner that actually opened because of COVID. And, I have a vision that's beyond, what I can actually fund with capital right now. Is that something that you can help me with?
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit? I like your story of, you started something out of COVID. So can you tell me a little bit more of like what the mission is and how you could see me helping?
So my mission is to expand. I am an HR and payroll company. So I have actually dual focus. I help companies find a PEO. I don't know if you've heard of a PEO before.
No.
It's a professional employer organization. So I'm actually a PEO broker. Oh. But in addition to that, I help companies with HR and payroll. So I'm similar to ADP or Paychex.
Okay, yes.
But uniquely different in that we don't treat our clients like a number, and we help our clients put the PEO back into their people, and service is our top priority. So my vision for the organization is to expand beyond our home and get a brick and mortar and just begin to expand to the different states and, really push the service model, which is different because with ADP or Paychex, you can outsource your payroll to them. But with PEO Awareness, you can outsource your payroll, but you can outsource your entire payroll department, your entire HR department through our virtual HR and payroll managers. We'll help you with workers' comp, anything and everything you think that impacts your business that's non-revenue generating activities. We can take off of your plate so you can focus on revenue generating activity and grow your organization.
That sounds very interesting, Nicole. Love where the heart is, love the mission. So would definitely be interested in a longer conversation.
Awesome. When can I give you a call?
What about tomorrow? Awesome. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Excellent work. Your energy is beautiful. Yep. Daniel and Nicole, fantastic job. Would you please, dear and fine lady, would you lead us into the conversation with the judges?
Yes, Sean Callaghan, I would be happy to. Let's start with the extraordinary, the amazing Mark. So Mark, what we're going to do here is you're going to have the opportunity to give 30 seconds of feedback, all the judges, 30 seconds of feedback, something that they did well, something that they might want to improve on, and then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being like, oh my God, you can't listen to another moment. You'd rather jump in the pool to just get away from them. 5 being like, maybe you'll sit down and like talk to them in like the Starbucks line or something. And 10 being you would have like a 5-course meal at the finest restaurant to spend as much time as possible talking to that person. So Mark, your feedback for Daniel.
I thought I was really impressed with Daniel because the opening that he gave, basically he was not prepared, right? So he had to speak off the cuff, and he felt you out at first with the conversation, led you to a certain point. It was definitely more organic. It was a harder conversation, but he was able to, I think, pique your interest enough to get more time with you, which is important. I don't really have any ways he could have improved because he wasn't prepared, right? And I'm more of an organic person myself, so who he is came across in that little bit. I think I ran out of time though. That's not enough time.
Yes, and Mark, your score for Daniel is
An 8.
An 8.
Yeah, I'd give him an 8. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Very good.
Yes. And for Nicole, please.
Oh, it was me. Oh, I get another 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Now, Nicole did her homework. See, that's what I'm saying. What I liked about the two of them is they contrasted a lot. So Nicole had a very, very polished approach. She knew her stuff, and she did a lot of educating of you as to what her space was and her reasoning for going into the space, how her backstory as far as what COVID brought about and what she could take off of an owner or a business operator's plate, lighten their load so they could do more in the generating of revenue for their business. So it seemed like a win-win. And she was able to, it just felt a little clunky at the end as far as when you said yes. But other than that, I would give her a 9 out of 10.
Beautiful.
And now?
Now let's go to Fred. Fred, your feedback let's start with Nicole this time.
Thank you so much. Nice job, Nicole. So I'm familiar with PEO, so I'm familiar with the model. So I think you did a nice job explaining it. You, like Mark said, you had your story down. And again, this is an impromptu thing. I don't know how much prep the participants were given because as a judge was not giving any. But I would say 2 other quick things. One is I like that you had, and you both actually had a follow-up, can we meet tomorrow type of a thing. The other thing, Nicole, is again, if your head is halfway down on the screen, so you may want to center yourself. Like Mark is actually centered very well, even though he's looking off to the right there. But as you're making a pitch, that's something that they might be thinking about is, okay, why is she so far back? And why can I see half of her room above her? So, but you did have a nice crisp follow-up and you did a nice job.
And your score for Nicole is, Fred?
I would give her a 9 as well.
Beautiful,
Nice,
beautiful.
And Fred, absolutely zero prep for everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
Because part of what we do is
Why it's called the real raw.
The real raw is that we're all seeking yeses in the world, and we're making nanosecond decisions everywhere all the time. I've had a lot of work that I have the privilege of doing in jury verdict consulting. I have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts. And, so from the influence space inside of a courtroom, on a large stage, one-on-one, all of these ways we're being micro-assessed continuously. So we want people to come in just with their perspective. So whatever each judge's perspective is beautifully perfect. It's their perspective, right? And so that's what we're looking to do. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So please, what do you have for Nicole?
For Daniel.
I'm sorry. Yes, you said Nicole. Daniel, thank you.
So I think Dan did a good job too. And like Mark had said, Mark actually did a very nice job as a judge before me. A little bit getting a little rougher getting started. And just as a comment on what John just said is that, you need to be prepared with 5 seconds or 10 seconds, or if someone gives you an hour, you need to have your stories down. I always tell people on our podcast, have a pocket full of stories, ready to go, 30-second stories. And those usually, as compared to like facts and things like that, those usually shift. But I would say that Daniel did a nice job as well. I would give Daniel a 7.
Nice. Beautiful feedback, Fred. You're very articulate, wonderful energy. Thank you for that. And
thank you.
And our angel of God, right?
Yes.
Is that what it?
Ariel?
Angel of light. Angel of light.
Angel of light. Ariel. Your feedback for Daniel.
So for Daniel, I want to say that one thing I really liked, he fished around for a problem and he gave a solution for it. He was like, so are you having an okay time managing this company? And he's like, listen, like I could come and buy you out and manage it for you. That's what I really liked. He basically told you who his company is and what they're looking to do. And he fished around for a problem. He got the problem and he gave you a solution. Hey, listen, let me make an offer on your company. That was one thing. I like the fact that, you know, he spoke up, he used his voice. That's another thing. I do a lot of, initial calls myself for brokerage. You know, I call buildings that are $200 million and, you know, I got to get the meeting. I like that he
Ariel,
used his
did your final feedback and a score for Daniel.
Okay, Daniel, I'll give him a 9.
Nice.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, and please for Nicole.
For Nicole, I like that she gave a history of her company. She mentioned how she started her company because of, you know, the current COVID issues. She used her voice as well. She was very, you know, she used a nice tone, and I give her a 7.
Beautiful, beautiful, great job. I have the feeling that Sean just got up because he's got a little scared. Is that what just happened?
I did. I got very
knew
scared.
it.
I got
Yeah.
very scared because this is the point in the show where
we get to put Sean on the hot seat. Yes, because you know, Fred, as you mentioned, you know, people come in and they're not prepared, and it seems it could be unfair, unprepared. So this is the point that we get to put Sean on the spot with that he is not prepared for, and what that looks like is our 2 participants went from
you're so mean.
I know
When you do this, not
So-
usually. You're
so sad.
mean.
So
Yes.
sad. I'll get you a tissue in just
For-
a minute.
for me.
For you. For you, but not for any of these folks.
Yes.
See how this goes? So in a moment, we will get to randomly select someone who gets to set a scenario for Sean that he would go from hello to yes on. So he would be doing the role play with someone here and going from hello to yes for anything. So it could be something, you know, yesterday we had someone, or a couple days ago, we had someone on the show that was looking to seek a yes from the New Jersey Transit, right? So he did a reverse role play and he did that to be of service to that person. He has been set up to be President Trump that has convinced President Biden on why he should still build the wall. He has been President Biden. He's been set up to be President Biden, why he was convincing President Trump on why everybody should get the vaccine. He has even been even role played with a conservative New Jersey attorney, convincing him why a 70-year-old New Jersey attorney would want to go to Burning Man. That was a hilarious. And then just recently role played Muhammad Ali to the Supreme Court, seeking a yes from the Supreme Court to Kalia Ali, where she said Sean channeled her father. So it could be a wide range of any type of scenario going from hello to yes. So Sean, how would we like to randomly select?
I think I will step away.
Okay.
Right. So there's no influence in the process, and you select one of these 5 folks randomly or otherwise, right? And you know, either do a number or just pick somebody that you think would be like, you know, feel the right energy and dynamic, and everybody can contribute in setting the scenario.
All right.
But I am up for it. I am grateful, and I'll step away 60 seconds.
All right. So our God of Lights, how about you select a number from 1 to 5?
3.
3 is the number. So Fred, you get to set the scenario. And so it can be any type of scenario. So you can take on that challenge or you can pass it to somebody else. So do you have a hello to yes that you would like to see Sean do?
You know what? I would like the opportunity to pass to Nicole.
To Nicole. All right. Nicole, do you have a scenario that's in mind?
I can't use the same scenario. Can I use the same snenario?
Absolutely, you can.
So I would like for him to be an angel investor.
So you would probably want, he would be, because he's going to do the reverse role play. So he would be the person talking to the angel investor, seeking the yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, Mr. Callaghan.
I did hear angel investor seeking yes.
Yes.
So it's the
yes.
Nicole
So
scenario?
So the Nicole scenario. Yes, sir.
All right. So Nicole, you're an angel investor. I'm you, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Is that right? Okay. And so, and what is it that I just want to clarify? So what is the yes I'm seeking? What is the investment for?
Expansion.
The expansion of?
The HR and payroll company.
Yep, that your PEO, correct?
Yeah, well, yes.
Go ahead. I want to make sure I'm serving you correctly. So he said, good.
So I'm an HR and payroll company.
Yes.
With a dual focus of a PEO brokerage. So I work with different PEOs and assign clients to the different PEOs to onboard with those particular PEOs.
Okay, and so you're looking for investment capital to expand the mission?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So, and how about you're a Mary, the angel investor?
I'm Mary.
Yeah, and I'm you.
Mother Mary? Okay.
Well, no, I mean, Mary could be, right? She's certainly, maybe some would consider an angel, and she's definitely an investor in people's lives. So Mary, I'm so thankful for you taking just 3 minutes. I know your limited time. I really appreciate the conversation. Can I ask you, does it still work for you? Like, do you still have 3 minutes?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. And may I also ask you, like, what's your mission, vision, purpose in the world? Why are you doing what you're doing? And I will keep this to 3 minutes, I promise, but it's going to help me to support you, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't born with, I wasn't born into wealth, and I did a very good job of managing multi-million-dollar businesses throughout my life. And I have the ability to help others, and I love to help others. And so I want to find different companies that are looking for capital, and maybe capital is their reason for, not expanding, and bless them with it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm hearing bless them with it. I'm hearing person of faith at some level, or no?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I could ask, how does faith play into the dynamic of your mission?
I think that everything happens for a reason. And, it's not like I just, wanted to be a business owner. But I think that I've had to kind of remain nimble throughout the things that were handed to me in my life, and do the best with the hand that was dealt to me. And, I've leaned on God to do those things. And because of that, I am, where I am today.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. And we live in a complex world at this point, I think, Mary, where people are often almost, influenced. Fear of rejection, fear of failure shows up when people share their faith and their belief structure in a business conversation. So I'm inspired by it. And thank you for so openly sharing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And final question is, why did you take this call? You have so many people presenting to you, so many people sharing with you. I'm very grateful you did. I know we're down to about the final minute or so, but why did you take this call?
I took the call because I'm a person of energy, and, I think that things happen for a reason. You meet people for a reason. You're connected for a reason. And, I just connected with Jason, very, easily, and, wanted to give this a shot and see where it took me.
Well, thank you, Mary, for that. I'm hearing vision, heart, love, connection, growth. I'm hearing all of it very present, and definitely faith. So would it be okay in our final, 45 seconds or so if I shared a little bit about my mission and see if there's any resonance to continue a conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I stepped into the space of entrepreneurship, and I believe that in a capitalist structure, like our great nation of America, the way that people create acceleration is by building things, by adding value, by caring. Easy words to say, but at this juncture, I've 6x'd my company. I'm in the space of a PEO and PEO brokerage, which means that I help people do some of the most fundamental and essential services for their small businesses that you could possibly imagine. People run into so many challenges, as I'm sure you know, Mary, in how they run their payroll, their human resources and structures, and there's so much competition in the space and so much that goes on there, and so much of it is wildly suboptimal. So why me? I'll lean on, if you feel resonance from our heart connection, our conversation, and factually and numerically, because math does matter. I've 6x'd my company in the last year plus. So if you feel resonance on the idea and the concept of impacting lives in a heart-centered way, which I'm hearing that's part of your mission, I assure you that in a 30-minute conversation, I will show you an investment opportunity and an expansion plan that not only makes economic sense, but also makes heart-centered impact sense. So does that resonate? How does it resonate or not? And would you like to have a conversation?
Yes, it does resonate. I love you. Were very articulate, and yes, absolutely, you can have more time.
No. Well, thank you for that. And Mary will get back to you shortly. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Out of roll, Nicole, how did you feel about that?
I felt good. I think you did an awesome job, like spur of the moment. So
cool. So is that who you are? Did we just embody you and the mission that you're on in the world?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. All right. And let's go, Fred. I appreciate your expertise, your perspective. How did you feel about that?
I think that was great. I only have one question for you. You both dipped a lot into the faith aspect. So is that something frequently that you see bringing people together in a business sense?
No, never. So I never inject anything into any conversation that's not present. Mm-hmm. So we teach level 5 listening. And what we teach is that this level, we go level -1 through 5. It's an amazing question, Fred. Thank you. So we never inject questions into a space that are not within the scope of the communication with the other person. So what we teach is to be looking for and searching for what's said, what's not said, when it's said, when it's not said, why it's said. And as soon as we hear any word that has, and I know you know this, but for others, there's three forms of communication: our words, our vocal qualities, and our body language. Anytime somebody shifts their energy in any way, either through vocal quality shift, body language shift, which I can't see, but we teach, or uses words that are unique. The only reason a person chooses any word is because they want us to hear it. They want us to know it. So somebody might say, hey, like, how you doing? Like, listen, I don't want to talk about it, but my loved one's in the hospital. Of course they want to talk about it, because they wouldn't have said it unless they wanted to talk about it. So as soon as Nicole said blessed, I knew she wanted to talk about faith. Is that a fairly accurate thing, Nicole, that you felt good when I acknowledged that? Because what Oprah Winfrey said is the reason she held a microphone for 30,000 people is because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters. So as soon as Nicole said blessed, am I accurate, Nicole, that you enjoy being asked about and talking about your faith?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So Fred, your thoughts?
No, that's great. Yeah, that's now that I think about the conversation, you were definitely reflecting on or you're leading towards how responding to what she says. And I agree with the thing that you just said is when someone gives a sign that they definitely want to talk about, when someone says, I don't want to talk about this, they definitely want to talk about it. Yeah. So it was it was for 3 minutes, though. It was quite deep. Yeah. You went pretty, and 3 minutes is a short time, but it's also a long time. So I think you both did a great job. And also want to acknowledge the reason I handed it over to Nicole, because I think you could have gotten more value at this moment in time than I could have with interfacing with him. So, I wanted you to hear some of the things that he was saying to you as you go out there and try to get some investment into your company.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. It's a beautiful gesture on your part, and you did a great job. And final on that is, yes, Fred is absolutely correct. I would never inject anything. I never guess. I never speculate, because as soon as you guess or speculate, do you like sports? I hate sports, right? Like, why ever guess? Everybody has a past, a present, a future, and things that are working and they're challenging. Open-ended questions, those 5 spaces sequentially, lead to a never-ending conversation about people's favorite subject, which you all know is
themselves.
Yeah. So Fred, thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate the sharpness of your perspective, the impact you're having in the world. How was your experience here today, Fred?
It was great. It was nice to meet you again. I just met David via LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago, and we did a Zoom last Friday, I think, and he invited me to this, and I had no expectations. I really didn't know what it was, and it exceeded my expectations. And it was a pleasure hearing from Mark and Daniel and Nicole, and it was a good use of my hour. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. And more than 3,000.
Am I invited back to my show?
Yeah, sure. Right back here. More than 3,000 people have been on the show since the beginning of COVID, and thank you for joining in that very, very much. It's a major innovation for us, and connected with a lot of incredible human beings like yourself. Let's go, Mark. How was your experience here today, sir? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
My experience was amazing. Like Fred said, I had absolutely no expectations. I said yes on the whim because the conversation intrigued me, and I've never been a part of anything like this, and I enjoyed the energy and the knowledge that I got, all compacted in 1 hour. So,
thank you. Appreciate that, Daniel. Wonderful job. Appreciate you. And Daniel's reaction was like, I'm not really prepared. I don't know, and which is very normal. That happens probably 30% of the time, right? Every other show somebody says that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And so, and it's normal, but as Fred beautifully pointed out, our ability to just realize in every situation that we are carrying around a pattern of the yeses we're seeking. And the number one way we want to create those yeses is through the depth of our listening, story for a different day, but to be present to like what yes looks like and where to take conversations, not for us, but with integrity in the mutual space of each other. And that's what we stand for. So thanks for being here, Daniel. Thanks for being courageous and jumping in. And how was your experience?
Thank you, Sean. The experience was great. I didn't know what to expect as well. I came here with no expectations. Came here mainly because of the energy that I see you all the time that you bring to this universe, that I'm like, I want somewhere. And proximity is power. And just by being here and just seeing how you articulate your words, your energy, that it just inspired me as a leader. So thank you for who you are and for what you contribute to this universe as well.
Thank you, brother. And it's a choice. It really is, because I went out to Dr. Tennant. I realized that my electrical charge and maintenance of it was really low. And so I understand how it was like, wait, what? I have a low electrical charge. And it was very real. Stephanie's is much, much higher, and so we can intentionally create energy, not pretend, because I do feel the energy. But it's a way that we can create inside of ourselves as intentional choice. Thank you for the intentional choice, Daniel, to be here. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Nicole, your final on being here. How was it for you?
It was a great experience. I enjoyed the stories. I enjoyed, the time here. I enjoyed meeting, everybody that's, included on this call. And, it's always good to learn something along the way. And I learned a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Stephanie, final, and thank you.
Ooh, final is, it is an honor and a privilege to be here every single day and meet such extraordinary people that, time and time again say, come in here not knowing what the heck it is, leaving here saying it's the greatest thing that they've ever done. And, we're here at Date with Destiny with Tony, where you've broken records, and they continue to ask you to come back. And the thing that I continue to see over and over again is the level of service, the level like value adding. Everything that you do is value adding to the point where, Tony Robbins said there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan. And there's a formula for that. It's not just hyperbole, because listen, guys, if you saw his videos from like 5 years ago, they're really, really bad. They're really bad. So there is a formula for how he went from being terrible to like his daughter saying his videos are cringy to now being on Tony Robbins' stage. And that formula has been just dropped for you in the channel. So definitely click that link. Definitely download that guide, and then talk to one of our teammates, Fernando, Adam, and just like ask some questions on how you can use the formula in your business and what that looks like. So thank you, Sean, for the opportunity to be here. I'm so grateful. You're so much better than you were 5 years ago, so that you can impact the world like you're meant to. Back to you. Thank you.
And by the way, just pop for me, like just for a second. It's like, oh, okay, so there's a thing in the chat, and this is like a funnel, and this is how you like. No. Would we love to do more with you? Absolutely. But the difference between a funnel for me, and by the way, Russell Brunson's extraordinary. I have the privilege of meeting his partner recently and spent some time together. So, but words can like shift in meaning over time. Like Sales became an ugly word. Lawyer is like an ugly word, right? And funnel is a very ugly word. And I think the difference to me between like create a funnel and create impact and value in the world is how much you put into it. I have dear friends that have massive amounts of online followers, and they're funnel builders and massive funnel builders. And what I find there is that so much of funnel building is about like getting people versus loving and adding value. And very, very candidly, this is final, I went over time, but this is very much in my heart, is so often we hear like, just put some crap together, right? And just like, whatever, just throw them something, we're here an hour a day, every single day, as you are, thank you, loving, giving, serving with full energetic investment every single day to create relationship, to give value, to demonstrate the power of what's here. And incredible people are in this space together with us. We'd love you guys to be in that space as well, but it's totally cool if you're not. But please understand that we believe in integrity is giving more value than you ever ask for return. And a funnel is grabbing people into your world. And I think there's a massive micro distinction between the two, and we stand for that in the world. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I know it's been a little bit over. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Nicole, Daniel. Ariel had a jump a few moments ago. We appreciate you guys. The money, time, and magic we all want is right there. But sometimes we are all, including me,
blind and just learning to see.